Because it's FIRP, F.I.R.P. It's the best podcast because it stars you and me. Because it's FIRP, recorded on Wednesdays. It's a free podcast, which means you don't have to pay. Because it's FIRP. We live.
It's FIRP.
FIRP. What's up, boys?
FIRP.
What's up? What was it? Dudes and women.
It's dudes and women. I think
Yeah.
it's dudes and women. It's been 2 weeks. We apologize for the lack of episode last week, but I was having some very bad computer problems, and then I got sick. So we were like, maybe we shouldn't do it. I was unable to do it.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
But yeah, it was pretty bad. Like the computer's completely shut down. It was really slow, and I was working on a project, and so I restarted it, but it wouldn't turn back on, and so it was bad. And so my dad resorted to like coding to get it back on, and it worked. I was like, oh wow. And then we updated it, and so now it's working, and we have all of our files. Praise the Lord.
Yep, all of the band's files are
scary.
completely fine.
We're good. I was so scared. I'm like, I need to call him. I don't know what I have that he doesn't.
Yeah.
It's just one song, but
yeah,
I was so scared.
So we are completely
welcome
fine.
To FIRP.
Welcome to FIRP. FIRP, of course, stands for fish inconceivably real.
Learn. I forgot there's an R before. There's no L. What am I doing?
Fish inconceivably.
Welcome to FIRP, everybody.
FIRP. Oh no.
F.I.R.P.
FIRP.
That would be the funniest name. FIRP.
It's just the guy whose podcast name is FIRP. Like,
FIRP stands for fish inconsiderably listen to people.
Fish inconceivably realize presentation.
I like FIRP better.
Guys, we're changing the name of the show to FIRP from
It's
now on.
FIRP. I go by the name Dr. FIRP.
Dr. FIRP and Dr. Pilf. And we are...
What?
Yeah, I have
Where did
no
the
clue.
F come from?
It's Pilf, but almost backwards. FIRP. F-I-L-P. No, wait.
I switched the F and the
P-I-L-F.
R. I'm confusing myself.
You've got so many different things going around in your head,
I
apparently.
just need to stop.
You do.
I'm like,
You really
where did
do.
the F come from? Our name is Work.
Yikes. Okay.
I've
Yep.
lost it. Quarantine has gotten to me. A month in quarantine, and it's just
Yeah.
my brain is not working.
I know it's none of ours are. None of ours are, Peyton.
Yeah, it's bad.
Okay, first topic that we could probably talk about is level of concern.
Yeah.
It's a good song. I like it.
Yeah, I like the way they released it too. It reminded me of a lot of the way we release stuff, where it's just like the day before, like, hey, we're releasing the song tomorrow. It's like, I almost feel like they don't have a label because of all the stuff they're able to release. Usually labels are like, well, let's wait, but they're just like randomly releasing stuff, which
Yeah.
I respect, and I love it when people do that, because then you're like, oh, okay, and you kind of get excited. When people like draw it out, I'm like, yes, you can build more attention and more hype, but then people are like, but it's so long, and then you forget about it, and then it happens, and you're like, oh yeah. But when it's just like immediate, I really respect that, and the
Yep.
song is pretty good.
So yeah, if you don't know what we're talking about, 21 Pilots released a new single called Level
My
of Concern.
favorite band.
Jeez, why are you destroying everybody's ears? I'm sorry, everybody who's listening to this.
Oh, nobody.
Exactly. Just me.
Exactly.
Just me in post. That's all it is.
Yeah, it's just me going, where's that one part where I screamed, and that's the only view this gets.
Yeah. And Parker, but that's it.
I think he's like our only like dedicated listener.
Yeah, Parker, if you're listening to this, thank you, man.
Shout out to Parker. I love you, man.
Spread the word, man.
And the love.
Spread the love of FIRP.
Hey, I mean, what were we saying?
Level of concern.
Oh yeah,
It's a good
level
single.
of concern. I have a level of concern for my health right now.
I'm very concerned for your health as well.
My favorite podcast. It's Werp. 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 Rilp.
Yikes.
Yeah. So the song, I love that they put guitar in it because they haven't used guitar in forever, as far as I know. And
Yeah.
it's super 80s. I would say it's better than most Blurryface songs, but not as good as most Trench songs. I would say Trench overall is better than that song.
You mean on average or overall?
Um,
Because
I would say probably on
overall,
average, because
yeah,
on average, because some of the songs are I'm like, man, it's like Legend. I'm not a huge fan of Legend. I think it's all right. It's mediocre.
I remember you saying that you really liked Legend like a year ago.
I think
So,
I think I liked I don't know the lyric, the way he wrote the lyrics, because they're really clever, although they don't make sense. Because I'm like, wait, what? It kind of makes me think like I don't really want to get into it, but the lyrics are clever. I don't like how poppy it is. Like it's really poppy to the point where I'm like, this just hurts. Like it hurts.
yeah, yeah.
And the way it like the next song is Leave the City, which is one of the better songs on the album, like lyrically and musically. It's just like the boop 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 of Legend into the slow sadness of Leave the City. And I'm like, that doesn't transition well. It's the same with like Neon Gravestones to the Hype. I'm like, that doesn't transition well. It's not a great,
Both amazing songs,
Neon
by the way.
Gravestones, yeah, both are great songs, but it's like the Neon Gravestones, and then it's burn, 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 and I'm like, what in the world? Every time someone starts singing "Smells Like Teen Spirit," like the guitar riff, I go into "Song 2" by Blur. I'm like,
Same song.
like what?
Same song.
No, it is the same song.
Same song.
I love saying that Song 2 came before "Smells Like Teen Spirit," and then people have to Google it. I'm like, I'm joking. "Smells Like Teen Spirit" was way before Song 2. They're like, wait, really? And I'm like, no, my goodness.
Yikes. Very, very big yikes. Yeah.
Anyway, we were on the topic of 21 Pilots albums. I feel like this is a topic we can get into because it's popular and we have unpopular opinions sometimes. So I like
sometimes
sharing my.
Sometimes.
Okay, a lot of times we have sometimes we don't.
I'd say sometimes we have very popular opinions, and then sometimes we really don't.
I'm gonna do a really stupid thing, and I'm gonna go buy their discography, through their albums, and I guess rate them. Like we did that album thing a while ago, but
Yep.
I have nothing better to do with my life, so we can just discuss them, starting with self-titled. Do we want to start with No Fun Intended, or do we want to start with self-titled? Because No Fun Intended is just Tyler Joseph, technically. But a lot of No Fun Intended bled into Regional at Best and
You know what? We'll include No Fun Intended. If you get offended, just take it out of the list. It's that easy, and then bump everything lower.
It's very important to their history because that's what Tyler. That was his first musical thing. Was No Fun Intended.
Yeah, that was his jam.
The production is absolute garbage, but the songwriting is really good.
It's good for what he could do, though. For like the resources he had.
He was in high school when he did that. So
I mean, I'm in high school now, but
yeah, but they didn't have Reason back then. They had they
didn't have Reason 10 back then. They had
They didn't have great computers, and a high school kid couldn't afford that at all.
No, definitely not. I'm an exception to that rule. So
he's a single child.
Exactly. Well, exactly. Also, wait a minute. It says the guy who only has to pay for half of everything that he buys.
Yeah, I don't understand that, but I take it. They're like, yeah, you just have to pay half. I'm like, oh, sweet. But it's not like of everything I buy. It's anything music related. Anything else I have to pay full price for. So it's probably because the stuff I play is extremely expensive.
Yeah, it's probably because you play drums, which is probably one of the most expensive instruments out there.
Yeah, when you get to higher end stuff, I mean, there's definitely high end guitars that are more expensive than high end drums, but I feel like higher high-end drums are usually more expensive than other high-end instruments, other than
Yeah.
pianos.
Well, that's because you have so many different pieces that you have to throw onto the drum set.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Oh yeah,
we
it's so
were
many different parts.
we
We are in the album.
rating albums. Let's go. Start with your
So no
start
fun
with your list.
intended. Okay, so my number one, I guess I'll go in the way I like the albums. My number one album that they've done is probably Trench, because of the songwriting and the production. Because Tyler produced most of them himself. They're
Oh,
all
he did.
self-produced, and so yeah,
Oh, dang.
and so
Yeah.
there's a consistency in there. In Blurry Face, it was not super consistent with the mixing and the production and the songwriting and the genres. There's definitely a Blurry Face like genre. It's like electric, you know, but it's not super. I just forgot the word.
I don't even know where you left off, so I can't help you.
I've gone crazy. It's not like, okay, every song on an album should have something in common, I think, genre-wise, production-wise. And in Blurry Face, it just doesn't have that a lot of the time. Like, it opens with Heavy Dirty Soul. And then there's songs like We Don't Believe It's on TV that is similar to The Judge, but completely different from Message Man and, like, Polarize and stuff. Like production-wise and mixing-wise, they're just like polar opposites. So
polar opposite.
I knew you were gonna do that. I'm gonna leave now. But in Trench, since he produced it all, wrote it all, and all that jazz, there's a lot of similarities in the songs. And so, like, when you get Jumpsuit and Levitate, you can hear the mixing that's similar, mainly because the songs are bled into each other, but you know, you get the hype and compare it to into Jumpsuit, and they're very similar. Nico and the Niners compare it to like Pet Cheetah, and you've got similar stuff in there.
Yeah, they're very like uniform, I'd say.
Yeah. They belong on an album together.
Right, exactly. You can listen to a song and go, oh yeah, that's Trench, you know, without even hearing it beforehand. Yeah.
It's especially the bass in that album. It's really in like the parts of it, it's super gritty, like in Jumpsuit, and it's massive bass. Like when you listen to My Blood, it's just so powerful in so many songs. And Tyler's relatively new to playing bass. Like during the Vessel era, he did not play bass like at all. He may have done it for the recordings, but he didn't do it live. Because if you watch, they have something on YouTube that some of their first posts on their YouTube channel. The Regional at Best documentary stuff. It shows their bassist who quit to like follow his dream of, you know, having a family and stuff. And Tyler's like, I can't play bass, so he's trying to get like bass backing tracks, and so you can see him like not know how to play bass like at all. He can play piano, so he can probably figure out bass. But from him going from there to writing something like Jumpsuit, which isn't like insanely difficult, but if I sat down with a bass, I would not be able to write that because of how like different it is. Because it's so. Have you learned it on bass?
Yeah, I've learned it on bass.
So interesting because I'm like, I wouldn't think of that.
It sounds like something that somebody would write after they learned bass themselves, you know, because it's not like a slap bass lick, it's not like a blues lick, it's not something like that. It's just you know, something that somebody would pick up a bass and go, oh, these notes sound good together. Which, okay, side tangent for just a second. I actually am kind of sad that I lost that feeling of just messing around and not knowing what I'm doing. I have just enough knowledge now where I have more of a system, and I'm like, shoot, I can't just pick up a ukulele and go, what does this chord sound like? You know?
Yeah. I still have some of that. Like, I mean, I took piano lessons for a while, and so I learned some theory, and I learned a lot that helps me play piano, but I still sit down with the guitar or ukulele, especially, I even do it with the piano. I'll just sit down and play random notes, and I'll be like, hey, that sounds pretty cool.
I'll still do that too, technically, even though I have uh, you know, decent music theory knowledge. But the thing is, when you first pick up an instrument that you've never touched before, there's things that you like figure out that not a lot of people have done. Like when I first picked up ukulele, I came up with the lick for a song that we've been working on for longer than many others.
Dude, that song it drove us nuts. We finally have pretty much finished it, but we
Yeah.
were like, this song can't be finished. Anytime we were like, all right, let's write lyrics, we're like, we can't do it. This song is like impossible.
We've gone through 3 different lyrics, like 4 different versions, and 2 or 3 different speeds for how we want the song to go.
Oh yeah, we're like, do we want it fast? Do we want it slow? Is it a rock song? Is it like a slow ballad?
Is it EDM dance? Is it like?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I knew it wasn't that, but
okay, I tried that actually. I tried doing it as more of like an electronic song. It didn't really work out.
Yeah, the way we have it now is like a pop rock song is much better.
Yeah, it fits it well. But anyway, back to.
It was like, I haven't even gotten past the first album. Yeah.
No, we haven't.
Trench is my favorite. Trench is my favorite. What's your favorite, Jer?
My favorite is Regional at Best. Not because I don't like Trench. Trench is my number 2, but I really like the songwriting at Regional at Best for some reason.
So good. It's so good.
There's just some things. Again, it's that immediate like thing of I still don't know exactly what I'm doing, so I'm just experimenting.
Yeah. And yeah, you can hear it on there.
I just, especially like Lovely, it's so weird, but it's so endearing, and it just makes me want to listen to it over and over again. And then you've got Kitchen Sink, which is so heavy and such an amazing.
That outro comes out of nowhere. It's my favorite moment in like any 21 Pilots album is the outro to Kitchen Sink.
And the build up for that it hits me every time. It's a very basic melody. Chord progression, all that sort of stuff. But the build up is instrumentized so well that it just blows me away every time I listen to it, and I don't know what it is.
It's crazy. Did you know that they did a new version of the song Lovely?
They did? Wait, what?
Yeah, they put on a bonus version of Vessel. I don't think it's on Spotify or anything, but you can find it on YouTube. And they redid Lovely in like Vessel style, like they did with Guns for Hands and stuff. And it's probably better. It's really good.
I need to listen to that then. But
it took away the over auto-tuned vocals though. Which I kind of appreciate.
Yeah, that was kind of part of the thing that made me go, this is weird, but I love it. So,
I get that.
Yeah.
So
yeah, my number 2 is Trench. Just because of basically the same reasons that you were saying. It's I can go back to it at any time and go, yeah, these are still good songs. So anyway, what's your number 2?
And number 2 is this is tough because these albums are similar, but they're so different at the same time. But my number 2 is probably Regional at Best. Because of songs that have been overlooked. People go back and they listen to the original Ode to Sleep, the original Holding On to You, and the original Guns for Hands, which I think the newer versions of those are a lot better than the original.
But they're better produced, yeah, for sure.
And they sound clearer, and his singing is better, the drums are better, and I just think the and if you watch the music videos for them, you're like, yeah, the new versions are much better. They fit it better. But songs like Clear and Anathema, I'm just like, I cannot get over these. The ending of Anathema, like the beginning, I'm like, it's all right. But then you get to the end, and I'm like, oh, the beginning was so worth it. The ending is just fantastic. The rap is amazing, which the rap is actually taken from Blasphemy off of No Fun Intended by Tyler Joseph.
Yeah, that's right. We were debating that.
He reused a lot of his lyrics. Yeah, you were like, no, it's this one. And I'm like, is it? I was like, sure. And then I was like, am I wrong?
I was pretty sure it was Clear, but then it was Anathema. It was definitely Anathema.
I was still confused. I'm like, am I right? That was a confusing day.
Actually, okay.
Yeah.
I'd have to slightly disagree on some of the songs being better on Vessel. Not the production. I agree. The production was way better. It's way clearer. It sounds a whole lot better. But there's just a little bit of a quality, especially on Ode to Sleep. That's the one that just gets me every time. That's just like slightly
Yeah, I get
different.
that. That's my
I don't
favorite
know.
of the remakes on Regional at Best.
It's just a I like the chopped up vocals that he does in like what is that, the first verse or something like that.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know. I listened to that and I was like, okay, that's a little weird. And then I listened to it again and I went, okay, yeah, I like this a whole lot better for some
I
reason.
like this.
And the mix is like slightly different, but I think it works somehow. And
Yeah.
again, it's that feeling of I still don't know exactly what I'm doing, but I'm still creating amazing music. So it's it's a little nuts.
I get that. There's definitely some moments where I'm like, I wish they had captured this better on the Vessel version. But
Yeah,
overall, production does bother me sometimes. But if the song is good enough that I can look past the production, it's a great song.
exactly. Yeah, if
Like
the songwriting
songs
is so
like,
good, then at some
yeah,
point I just don't really care anymore. I'm like, this is just too good to worry about production.
yeah. Okay, you've gone through your number 2. I've gone through a number 1. Blah blah blah. Number 3. Do you want to start us off with a number 3?
Sure. Um, this one's actually no. For number 3, I have to put Vessel. Uh, it's very similar to Regional at Best, but there are some songs on there that aren't on Regional at Best.
The Run and Go.
Run and Go is amazing. Um, I like, yeah. I don't know. I don't know what else to say about it. I pretty much said everything on Regional at Best, so it's pretty much the same thing, but it's like slightly
Better.
less for me. It's
Yeah,
better
it's like
produced, but it's like slightly. It
yeah.
doesn't sit quite as well with me. I don't know why.
Yeah.
What's your number 3?
Oh man, my number 3. See, it's a debate, but I have to go with self-titled because it's a really slow, depressing album most of the way, but it's lyrically, I'm like, these are some of the strongest lyrics he's ever written, especially on Implicit Demand for Proof.
Oh yeah, yeah. No,
Because
the
that
song's whack.
song, I'm like, I can relate to this song so much because he's basically saying like, um, he's like, I don't want to disrespect you, God, but like, why? Why is this? Why is that? And then he's like, I don't know if you're out there, and to prove that you're out there by basically saying prove it by killing me, pretty much.
Yeah, it's heavy.
I'm like, geez, that's so dark, but like, it's true too. Like people have like said that in the Bible, but it's
Yeah,
it's crazy how people think like that, and I'm like, I understand that. Just some of the production is, it's all right, but some of the songs, like even Taxi Cab, where I'm like, this is one of the strongest songs he's ever written. It's one of his favorite songs he's ever written, and I can understand why. And then Isle of Flightless Birds, that's one of my favorite 21 Pilot songs of all time.
mm,
I just love it for some reason. It's like, I think it's like 6 minutes long, and that's like the longest song they've ever made. And I thought that was super cool. But
yeah.
yeah, that's my number 3.
Number 4. See, it's hard. Well, this one isn't hard. I'm thinking ahead as well. I think for number 4, I'm gonna put Blurry Face.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now that I've listened to it a lot more, I don't like Blurry Face as much as the other albums. There's no
Yeah.
way. But when I first listened, that was like my introduction to 21 Pilots because that was what everybody was listening to.
Yeah.
After listening to it for a couple times, and it, just hearing the songs over and over, that's when I started to get hooked on it, and I went, "Wow, this is actually really interesting." I wasn't really in the rap world at that point. I didn't really like it. I thought 21 Pilots was cringy, normie stuff, and and all of that. But then I started listening to it a little bit more, and the songs like Fairly Local that were just off the wall crazy. I just went, Okay, I get the hype.
And
I get the
Fairly
hype.
Local was their lead single off that album. Like, that's a
Yeah.
weird choice to put out there first, but I'm like, I respect that.
And now I would put it probably lower than most of the other ones, but I can't in good conscience put it last because of just the effect that it had on me for like the rest of my listening experience. Every time I listen to that album, I still think about the times that I was listening to it and just processing it in my brain over and over again. And that's the first time I'd really done something like that with an album, is just like analyzing it forward and backward and trying to understand why people like it so much. And then I started liking it, and I started listening to it more.
Magic.
Uh, and so yeah, I don't know. I couldn't put it lower in good conscience, but conscience. No, it's conscience.
Okay.
Yeah. Uh, but there's still some classics like Polarize. I really like Polarize. I don't know what it is.
I really
No,
like
actually I do.
Hometown, too.
Hometown, I listen to that every time I get in a plane and it takes off. I don't know why. It's just the perfect song to take off to. um and then Polarize it's that sort of offbeat, lopsided feel that just makes me want to listen to it over and over again.
Yeah.
But yeah.
That was number 4, right?
That was number 4. What is your number 4?
Number 4 is Vessel. Now, a few months ago, probably up to a year ago, Vessel would have been my number 1. But I just feel like after listening to other albums a lot more and going past the production value to the lyrics and the songwriting, I had to put the other ones above this one. It's still a fantastic album with some great songs, but some songs that I feel like I can't listen to them anymore. Something about I'm like, this has just been played so much, and people are like, this song's underrated. Let's make it popular. And I'm like, no, never do that to a song. Never make an underrated song popular, because then it's overrated and the song is garbage. Because that's how my brain works. If something's popular, I usually don't like it.
Yeah. I'm just gonna name it outright. Car Radio. I'm sick of that song now.
I loved that song when I first heard it, and then they're like, car radio, car radio, car radio, and I'm like, make it stop.
Yeah, okay. Most of the songs on that album are really good, and I could listen to them over and over. There are a couple, Car Radio and some others that I can't think of off the top of my head, that I've just gotten sick and tired of, and I can't listen to it anymore. At least not without like a break in between. Just because I don't know, they don't have quite the longevity that some of the other albums do. I don't know.
I have a problem with Migraine and House of Gold.
I actually really like Migraine. I don't know why. I really like that song.
I have a problem wanting to listen to it. Usually I'll have a problem wanting to listen to a song. Then I'll listen to it and be like, oh yeah, that's why I like it. But I'm like, nothing seems appealing for Migraine right now. Because I mean, I've heard it a lot, and it's kind of slow. The ending is really cool. And House of Gold, I just feel like is also overplayed, and it's very repetitive.
Yeah.
It's good songwriting. The music video is fantastic, but a lot of it, I'm just like, what's the point?
Yeah, it's kind of just like the feel-good ukulele song, like Should Have Told Her is for us. It's kind of. Let's face it, man. Let's face it, man. It's a very similar style and feel to it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, that's what I like. That's like all I listened to when we wrote that song. I had no musical perspective back when that happened, so it definitely changed since then.
I still like Should Have Told Her. I still like House of Gold, but they're getting tired. House of Gold is getting a little tired at this point because it's just played so often.
I'm glad we don't play Should Told Her all the time. Oof.
Yeah. Used to be that was our go-to song.
Yeah, we've played, although I think we've played Sunshine more than we played Should Have Told Her.
No, we definitely have played Sunshine more than we've played Should Have Told Her.
It's the one we like wore out, and some of our friends were like, "Dude, you gotta stop playing that song." I'm like, "Why? We love it." And
it was the easiest one. It was the easiest one to go to because most places had drums and most places had a piano, and if they had that, then we could just play
piano
that.
And drums. Yep, and it's the same chords over and over again. I still have
no
idea.
I don't have to think too hard. You don't have to think too hard, and we can have a good time while doing it.
It's a song you can kind of improvise with because of how simple it is. So you
Yeah,
can kind of jazz it up a little bit, but
I would
it's
I would
very
kind of
easy to play.
if you listen to us play Sunshine sometime in the future, there might be times where I throw in some extra rhythms or something. I don't throw in a lot of extra notes because I still can't figure out what key that's in because I can't bother I don't want to bother with it. But
No
yeah,
idea. I don't even know what chords I'm playing. I
it's
just kind of
easy to
sat
play.
down and was like, this sounds good, just like every other song.
It's easy to play and it's fun to play, and I like the lyrics and the melody. So there you go.
Yeah, that
Uh,
was fun.
Number 5
For
on the 21
five,
Pilots. This is where
go
I'm gonna
ahead.
have some trouble. Because both of these next two albums I haven't really listened to much, so I can't really make a decent decision. Um, I'm gonna have to probably tie these, as No Fun Intended and Self-Titled. I've listened to No Fun Intended probably more than I have Self-Titled, but then again, I've only probably listened to No Fun Intended all the way through once. Uh, Not because I don't like it, just because I've had my mind elsewhere, and it's hard to access No Fun Intended, especially because it's nowhere to be found on Spotify and everything, so I can't just put the songs in a playlist and listen to them nonstop. Uh, so yeah, I'm gonna have to combine 5 and 6. I can't rank one over the other. I don't have enough information. And I wish I would. I should probably listen to the self-titled album tomorrow all the way through, but I don't know. I just haven't done it yet. I haven't had the time or the energy to do it. So there you go.
At my number 5, I think, what did I put? Did I already do 5? I know I didn't
No.
do 5. My 5 is Blurry Face, just because of reasons I said when I was talking about Trench. The unsimilarities between the songs. Um, some of it seems like lazy writing, but a lot of it doesn't. And then songs get really old sometimes, like We Don't Believe It's on TV and The Judge. I'm really sick of those songs.
Yeah.
And I feel like since I didn't listen to Stressed Out and Ride a lot, like I knew that they were popular and that I wouldn't like them. And so I didn't listen to them. And then I came back to them. I'm like, these songs are actually really good. Like they're written really well, they're produced really well, and they're just the lyrics are great, and they're just great songs. And
It's
people are like, this song is good, listen to it. And they just say, listen to it, listen to it, listen to it. And I'm like, you're looking past all of the great tiny aspects of it.
yeah. It's yeah. It became so popular that it was hard to see kind of how good they actually were. It's understandable why they went popular, but it's a little bit frustrating at times as well.
I bet if I ask somebody, and I said, did you know that there are two different snare sounds, at least two different snare sounds at the beginning of Stressed Out? They'd be like, what? Because that's something I noticed when diving deeper into it, as I'm like, hey, the snare sounds at the beginning, they alternate. There's like a fat snare sound and more of a clappy snare sound that alternate. And I found that when I was looking past all the popularity and was like, let me see this as a song as it's written and produced.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know what else to say. Yeah, that's true.
I'm so smart.
And then number 6.
Because it's a great album, but I do have trouble accessing it, and I do sometimes have some trouble listening to it because some songs are like recorded on an iPhone 2 voice memos. If iPhone 2s even had voice memos, they may not. I know iPhone 3 did because I had an iPhone 3. But the songwriting is great. Some of it's hilarious, like Taco Bell Saga. But like Taken by Sleep, that's a great song. Blasphemy, Drown, those are great songs. Hole in the Ground, but sometimes I just have trouble listening to it. Once I can't find it. 2, the production is not great, but that's basically the only reasons why it's so low is because of accessibility and production.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of sad, really. I think it'd be really interesting if he redid all of the songs on there. I'm not saying he should, but I think it'd be interesting if he kind of revisited those themes and topics and such, and then just released No Fun Intended with like a new style or something. Yeah, that'd be interesting. I don't know. I don't know what else to say.
That's basically all there is to say.
Yeah.
Your number 6 is self-titled.
My number 6 is, well, my number 5 and 6 are tied because I can't make a good enough decision because I don't have enough information on self-titled and No Fun Intended. But yeah, there you go. There's our 21 Pilots tier list of albums.
Took up about 35 minutes of our entire thing,
or something like that. Yeah, how long are we? I keep forgetting. I can't.
Like 35 minutes. We started the call almost 40 minutes ago. So.
Yeah. Dang. All right.
So that was a while.
So maybe something shorter that we could talk about.
I have something I want to say.
Okay.
I think we talked about this in the top albums thing, but like just mentioned it. I talked about Now Not Yet by Half Alive.
Yeah.
And we talked about Okay, and how there's one part where there's a synth, like that one synth hit that doesn't get repeated.
Yeah.
Listening to it once, I realized it gets repeated one time.
Oh my gosh.
It was like, my mind is blown because it's hidden so well. And I'm like, oh, they only use the synth one time and it works so well. But it's used twice. It happens that one time when you think that's it. But then when it goes into the far greater, you know, the bridge, basically, it happens one more time when the bridge starts. And I'm like, my mind is blown.
Bruh.
Even.
Yep, there you go.
I am a musical genius.
Educating the masses on the intricacies of Half Alive's music.
Intricacies. Brr! It's so intricate.
No, their music actually is pretty intricate. I don't understand how they do it.
Oh yeah. I love watching interviews about them talking about the album, and they're like, "Yeah, we just wrote this. We sat down, blah 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 blah." And I'm like, "Holy cow, guys!
This is what you wrote after just sitting down? Imagine what they would do if they tried."
Oh my gosh! We don't talk about musicians trying. This is 2020, Jared.
This is 2020. Nobody tries anymore, man.
Name one musician who is new and tries.
Yeah, no, I can't think of anything. I don't know.
You can't. Speaking of which, IDK How. I'm so excited for their album.
Yeah.
Now is a pretty good time to release it because people want new music from their favorite artists while stuck in quarantine.
Exactly.
Though that means they can't do press and they can't do concerts to promote the album. It's still, and I'm sure they don't care about that. They're not in for the money. They actually just want to make music. And so I'm sure they'd just be like, yeah, put the album out. Because they've been teasing it so much. They're like, album under construction. Thanks for being patient. And I'm like, release it already, you dum-dums.
It's getting very close.
I pray that Mr. Sinister is on that album because that is my favorite song that they've written.
Yep. You've said that before.
Oh, good. I was so mad when they didn't play it at the show. I'm like, come on.
Yeah, that's a big yikes.
It's a good show.
I'm trying to look at other possible topics. I can't think of anything honestly at this point.
I found out last night, that they don't plan on opening barbershops till the beginning of June.
All right. Well, I'm gonna grow out my hair until the beginning of June.
I'm so tempted to shave it, to just get rid of it, because then by the beginning of June, it'll be more or less back.
Yeah. I see.
My hair grows pretty fast, and it's so gross right now.
A lot of people are actually doing that. They're just shaving their heads and then waiting for barbershops to reopen before they can style it again. But I'm kind of doing the opposite. I'm growing it out until this ends and then seeing what it looks like when it's super long. Or not super long, but like maybe shoulder length. I don't know. We'll see.
Oh, gosh, no. Don't do that. Oh, I'm imagining it, and I don't like it. Bleach my eyeballs.
No, it's not that long. It's not going to be that long.
I'm going to call you Chaz if you do that.
Chaz.
is the Chaz.
Oof. Big oof.
Yo, my bandmate Chaz is
The Chaz.
it really emphasizes Chaz.
Chaz. Something like
It's
that.
short for Chazilla. Oh, gross. That sounds so bad. Sounds like a really bad dip at like a bad fast food restaurant. You don't want to try the new Chazilla?
Oh, it actually does. What?
Spicy. I'm gonna sample me saying spicy from this episode and put it in a song somewhere.
Spicy. Yikes. Yeah.
It's interesting time.
Did you see that Davey 504 bought every base in his vicinity?
I signed up for the giveaway.
I did too.
I signed up for it.
I did too.
Ace.
Yeah, if you're not subscribed to Davey 504, slap like now.
Pickle.
Go subscribe. Subscribe now to Davey 504 because he's pretty funny. He's
slap the like button. Wait, slap the like button. Stop.
Just destroy my microphone. What's up, slappers?
I love his YouTube channel. I wrote a comment where he's like, you know, what kind of bass do you want? I was like, I'll be good with anything that you give me. And then I was like, as long as it's not a guitar, not epical. I'm like, if I win, watch him send me a guitar.
Oh my gosh, that'd actually be kind of funny though.
Hilarious. I would get so mad at him.
I said advanced because I don't need a beginner bass, man. I'm past beginner.
And he said beginner to advanced, and I'm like, it's a big jump. So I said advanced, but I was like, I'll be cool with whatever.
Beginner, advanced, and then pro. I was like, okay, all right.
I'm not good enough to play advanced, but I need something nice to record with.
Yeah, exactly.
That I'm using now,
See,
it just
the thing is though, is there a big difference between the like the beginner bass and the advanced bass? Is there really?
I doubt it. It's usually like the wood it's made out of.
Yeah, it's like it's a better wood, or it has a better tone, or it's like it's the same thing.
It's so much longer. I'm like, I don't care. Does it sound good when I put compression on it? I don't care about resonance.
It's a smoked walnut cherry wood fusion with maple frosting, and
it sounds like a cupcake. It's smoked maple frosting.
Exactly.
504 should open up a cupcake chain.
Base cakes.
Base cakes. It sounds like a really terrible pet name for your wife.
Oh no.
Base
That's what Davey calls his girlfriend is base cakes.
Base. What's up, base cakes?
What's up, base cake?
We need a petition to get Davey 504 on the podcast.
Oh yes, if we grow big enough, we definitely need Davey 504 on the podcast.
My dream is to get Rob Scallon, Andrew Huang, Adam Neely, and Davey 504 on the podcast at the same time and just watch the madness. Watch the madness.
Oh my gosh. See,
I'd be like, "There's the reason for this," and then everyone else would be like, "You're stupid."
Yeah,
I love Adam Neely though.
No, I love Adam Neely. He's okay. I thought of this recently, and I don't know how didn't think of this before. He's the Vsauce of music.
Oh, true.
That's what he is. He's the Vsauce of music, and I realized that, and I went, "Oh my gosh, that's why I like him so much."
I remember when you showed me Vsauce. You were the one who showed me Vsauce. This is at the beginning of the band. You came over for sleepovers so we could write stuff.
Yeah.
And you showed me Vsauce, and I'm like, what the frick is this? You're like, there's a reason for life. Blah, blah, it's going this whole thing, and I'm just like, what?
I don't think I said anything about a reason for life, but I probably said something about quantum physics or whatever.
It was going into some existential crap.
Yeah, I'm sure it was. I'm sure it was.
The FIRP?
What the FIRP? Whoa. Our
it almost
podcast
sounds like you're
name.
bleeping out the F word. FIRP.
Something like that, yeah. No, I still watch Vsauce. I've actually gotten back into his content now, and I'm watching it all
I'm
over
not a
again.
big Vsaucer.
Yeah, but I'm also very like science my I don't know. I don't know what I'm trying to say.
Science. I am very science.
Is
Okay,
math
Jared.
related to
Please.
science? No, I like higher level thinking that just makes me puzzled and then afterwards being like, okay, I can forget about that now. you know?
That with politics. I look at other people's opinions and I go, hey, that's interesting. And then I
See,
forget about it. And I'm like, you're stupid. No, I'm joking.
I don't necessarily watch Vsauce because I want to go into science or math or anything. I watch Vsauce because I like that sort of stuff, but I just want 10 minutes of it, you know? I don't want
Years of
hours and
it.
hours of it, you know? I just want okay. Here's a 10-minute video on why black holes are dangerous or something like that. and I watch
I
it.
don't think I need a video to know why they're dangerous.
I watch it and I go, that was very informative and cool. Now I have some random trivia. Sweet. Now time to go on with my day. it's okay. I think Vsauce is this generation's Bill Nye. I'm gonna say it.
Probably.
He's the science person of this generation, and I'm okay with that. we got very off track. What were we?
What were we even talking
I
about?
don't even
Davey
remember.
504.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah. So please share this with your friends so that we can get enough viewers to actually attract the attention of Davey 504.
Just send it to Davey 504 and spam his email inbox, and he's like, "What's up?"
Yeah, maybe. Dude,
Work
that would
my
be the
slap skill.
that would be
on the
the dream though,
podcast.
getting those four people on. Maybe not at the same time, but just getting them on in general would be like
All
dang.
at the same time. Complete madness.
Yep. Yep. Bruh. I still think we should do something similar to 1st of October and write an entire album in a weekend. I think we could do it. Like a 10-track album. I think it's
Quarantine
possible.
is over. Let's try. Well, maybe not 10 tracks. I think okay. The minimum you can do, on streaming platforms for a full length album is 7 songs.
We should aim for 8 then. 8's a good number.
We can aim for 8, but I'd be okay with 6.
We should aim for 8 and then hopefully get 10. That'd be the dream.
Yeah,
But I don't think we could do it in I don't
quarantine's
think I don't think we could do it in 12 hours. I think doing it over a weekend would be more feasible. Maybe spend one day at your place and spend one day at my place and try and write half and half.
Spend Saturday here. You can come over Friday night. We'll stay up late, watch a movie. Spend Saturday here. Go to your place. Spend the night and do Sunday there.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. So
maybe if we do it in the States, I have some connections to studios, so maybe we could do it in a studio.
Oh dang, that'd actually be kind of cool. That'd be
Excited for
that'd be
actual
interesting.
studio time.
Yeah, that'd be that's the dream, man. That's the dream. Somebody else to mix my vocals.
And we may not be streaming though.
Maybe not.
Somebody else can what?
Somebody else can mix my vocals now. I don't have to do it myself.
Cut out instead. You cut out, and I thought you said someone else can do my vocals. I'm like, what?
That's not how that works.
I quit. Yeah, I'm like, I
Somebody else
don't
can do my
think that's how
vocals
that
for me.
works, Jer.
Somebody else can sing for me, and then we'll put a Jer filter on it and make it sound like me.
Ever heard of Milli Vanilli?
No.
Ever heard? Okay, so Milli Vanilli was a group. I think it was back in the 90s, but I don't go back that far, so I don't know. But they were a pop group, like, oh, so poppy, like boy band. And they had other people sing, and then they had models perform. And one time, this was the end of their career, the track, like, skipped, because it was like an actual CD, because they didn't have MP3 back then. And so they lip-synced incorrectly, and so everyone knew that they'd been lip-syncing.
Oh, that sucks.
They weren't even the actual singers. They were just models.
Yikes. Big
It's
yikes.
weird.
Yeah.
Big oof.
Big oof.
Not epic.
Not epic. But that reminds me of the Japanese version of that, basically, which is a virtual singer named Hatsune Miku.
She's not real.
She's not real.
She doesn't exist. No one does the vocals. She doesn't exist.
She doesn't. It's like a vocal
Computer.
It's a computer that basically sings.
Is that not scary? That's horrifying that a computer can sing.
Not well, but it can sing.
Not well, but it can sing. Have you seen the Rumi video on it?
Yeah. Yeah,
it's pretty scary because it's
pretty scary.
It doesn't sound like a human, but it's getting close. You're like, frick, in a couple years, they can sound exactly like us.
It's getting just close enough that somebody could start making music without having to sing, without having to play an instrument, without...
It already happened. It's called hip-hop.
And that's where we're going to end the podcast, everybody.
I'm from that statement.
You very much are.
It's been nice knowing you.
All the rap stands are gonna come get you. I
like hip hop to an extent.
All the little Uzi Vert stands are gonna come get you.
I don't want to say I hate all the Lils, but a lot of them get on my nerves. I'm like, how many Lils can you have?
Yeah.
Also, Lil, although it is my username just because it's funny.
Little drummer boy.
I'm like, this is popular. This is my name now.
Oh, is that where you got it? Okay. Yeah. I see it.
I got it because my dad would call me Little Drummer Boy. And so I was like, I'll make that my username, but I'm going to spice it up a little bit.
Lil.
A little bit. Yeah.
Gucci gang, Gucci gang, Gucci gang.
I like 80s and 90s hip hop where it's like acoustic almost, but like electric. I'm trying to find a way to put this. Electric enough that it's also acoustic. Like it wasn't a computer doing everything. You still had to sample stuff and do stuff. Like I really, really like Beastie Boys. They're technically like rock and hip hop, but I love that blend. And they're just so good at what they did.
Oh yeah.
Like they would just shout, they would just chant, and it would work. And they're thin, pasty white guys. And I'm like, this is the greatest. Like I could do that, and it would be so much fun.
Yeah.
They're just the best.
Yeah, they're great. Beastie Boys are amazing.
Love Beastie Boys so much.
I think we're getting very close to that time, dudes and women.
The time where we must say goodbye.
Well, wait a minute. First off, I have to do the German word of the week. Give me a second.
German word of the week. We got to do 2 because we missed last week.
Yeah, I'll do 2. First one is fertig bringen, to bring to an end.
Just like this podcast.
Yep, just like this podcast. And what is that? Entfernung, which is distance.
Social distancing.
Social distancing. I didn't plan this, I swear.
I don't believe you.
So yeah, see you later, dudes and women. This has been FIRP, where FIRP stands FIRP, where FIRP stands for
furries in real places.
Sure.
They exist. You know, they're in real places.
There you go.
They are real, and they're in real places.
All right.
I'll see you next week, my boy.
See you next week. See. Goodbye.